we all want to deliver value to our clients. At PwC, we consider our job well done only if our client can come back and tell us that PwC helped to create the value I'm looking for. We use 3 principles to try to see whether we are doing what we said we'll do. First, we go and try and understand what the client really wants, what his needs and aspirations are, and what his challenges are. We then develop value propositions and solutions to help address these aspirations, needs, and challenges. And then once we've finished execution, we go back and communicate and try and understand what value we've delivered. We then fine-tune the whole thing till value is actually realized and the client feels that is so. Earlier this year, we began to realize that we need to understand what our clients need much better, and that we need to understand not just what our clients need, but what our clients need, which means the ultimate consumer. And so we began a discussion internally with some of our clients as well as with academic institutions to try to understand how the Indian consumer perceives value. As we had more and more discussions with the academic institutions, we realized that not much work has been done on the whole concept of consumer value in India. And so we decided that we would actually carry out a study and focus it on a particular industry so that we could get some granular understanding of what consumer value means in a particular industry. We carried out the study with the Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad, and the resulting study of mobile usage patterns and how mobile consumers perceive value has thrown up really interesting insights, not just in terms of how the mobile consumer perceives value, but about consumer value in general in India. To carry out this study, the research team surveyed over 2,000 consumers across 17 locations in 6 telecom circles. These consumers were across different socioeconomic segments, different age groups of course, gender and professional classes. We asked mobile users about the value they derive from the use of their mobile phones. We found that their value is much more economic and social than personal. However, this value changes with time and place. This survey covered the 5 urban segments of the new socioeconomic classification system. This new system actually categorizes consumers on the basis of asset ownership and education levels of the main wage earner. What we found was that SEC has the highest price consciousness and value consciousness and has the lowest brand consciousness among all SECs. This segment, comprising the skilled working class, seems to be a really tough to crack market. They have some very interesting and unique characteristics as far as the mobile market is concerned. They have the highest propensity to churn, that is, to switch telecom service providers. They have the lowest propensity to migrate to postpaid. They have less than expected propensity to shift to 3G. And yet, this is really surprising, they are the maximal users of features on smartphones. One of the more interesting findings of this survey is how people look at the next phone they will buy. It seems that the aspiration to own a more expensive phone is quite irrespective of the current income levels at which the mobile users are today. This finding, the finding that your current income levels do not determine what you want to buy, is extremely exciting for somebody who's in India right now and who's marketing to Indian consumers, because it really just underlines the hope and aspiration in this economy. Churn is one of the biggest issues that faces the mobile industry today. Industry data tells us that churn has been as high as 6% per month. To our surprise, we found that in the survey, only 33% of people said they've churned in the past. That means 2/3 have not actually switched operators. This tells us that those who've churned have actually churned very fast. So we asked respondents which SIM card they would use if they had to buy a new SIM card. Interestingly, 69% of the respondents chose an operator other than the one that they have the current SIM for. So it would seem that these potential switchers are actually about twice the number of people who claim to have switched in the past. And what this tells us is that operators cannot take even loyal customers for granted because they can be potential switchers.